If you've written a novel or screenplay, at some point you're going to send it out to the industry, and in order to do that you're going to need a single page outline. What are these strange creatures and how do you write them? Well, that's what this video is all about. There are 10 things your single page outline should generally include. Now there's no hard and fast rules because as always it's your story and nobody knows it as well as you. But here's our starter for 10. Firstly, of course, is the working title. Now again, I know this is pretty obvious, but this has to be eye-catching, striking and memorable. It's always classed as a working title because ultimately it might well change because of producer or director at some point. The second thing is genre, and in the same way that cul-de-sac is just a fancy way of saying a dead end, genre is just a fancy way of saying type. What type of film or novel are you actually producing? Is it a horror? Is it a comedy? And also remember that usually genres and subgenres or mixes of genres are more effective, so comedy horror or action comedy, for example. The next thing to include is setting. Where does your story take place? Is it New York, present day, future, distant planet, whatever? Next up is format and medium. Is it for TV? Is it a 2-hour movie? Is it a short film? Whatever the format and medium, make sure it's really obvious and it has its own particular line. Point 5 is logline. Sum up your story in a short sentence. If you've no idea how to do this, then go over to IMDb, search for your favourite films and see what the logline is on there. Next up is tagline. This is the short, pithy statement that appears on the movie poster, the DVD jewel case or the book cover. The shorter, the better. And if you can make it really snappy and convey the whole story, it's classed as high concept, and that's hugely valuable in the screen industry. Because if you can hook your audience in, you're going to get bums on seats. The what-if premise poses a question of the inciting incident. What if ... The answer to that what if is the hook that brings the reader or viewer in. The idea being that once they've read it, they're going to want to read the rest of the screenplay or watch the rest of the film. Next up is the story synopsis. Now the idea being that you are now going to tell and not sell your story. Previous, so the points we've mentioned earlier, tagline, logline, etc., are the sexy sell. This is actually the meat and potatoes of your story. What's it about? Who's in it? What do they want? And what happens at the end? Next we have target audience. Who's going to be rushing out on the opening weekend, queuing in the rain as soon as the book hits the shelves? It's more challenging than it might appear, and don't blag it by just saying everybody's going to love it. Do some research. If you want to find out about market stats, then have a look on MPAA or the BFI websites. The links are below. Next up is personal statement. Now this is your opportunity in a brief paragraph to explain why you are the right person for this story. What was the hook for you? What drew you in? And why are you the best person to tell it? What the reader wants to get from the personal statement is that you have the passion and conviction to see this story through. When it comes to single page outlines, less is more. So be sparse, have plenty of white space on the page, and don't waffle. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to download the worksheet stroke guide that accompanies this video, then please follow the link below. If you liked it and you want to see more videos, then please take time to like and subscribe. Okay, that's it. Hope to see you in the next video. Next we're going to look at target. Next we're going to look at target audience.